Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 106 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I am getting ready for what might be the time to finally get out of this base. It's getting close. I'm getting to the point where just the way this base is structured, the way everything's built, the way everything works, it just is, in a word, why are you not filling up? Becoming difficult for me. Just struggling to maintain what I need to maintain in this base. It's just brutal. Long story short, it's time to move. Oh, that's why. You're out of water too. What happened to all the water in this aqueous accumulator? Silly aqueous accumulator. Weird. Anyway, like I said, my base is being a little bit funky. It's time to, I think, get ready to move. So I wouldn't mind starting fresh. Kind of with a really well-prepared base setup. So what I'd like to do is probably set up a void age, like we've mentioned once or twice before. That's kind of the best bet, because if I set up in a world that, has terrain and stuff, it's just a matter of like clearing out that terrain. But with a void world, you have basically a completely blank template to do what you need to do. So what I'm gonna do first is prepare a few things. So obviously I snagged this 1K storage component. I think what I need in total is a 64K. Come on, elevator. See, base is being funny. In order to get that 64K, I think my AE system knows how to make 4s, but I doubt I taught him 16K. Yeah, I didn't think so. So the 16K requires 3 4s, right? So let's do... I'm going to need about 12 of these. That should be quick and easy to put together. And I'm going to work towards getting the 64K storage cell, which requires 3 16Ks, which will require 12 4Ks in total. Not terrible. So that's crafting, obviously. What's kind of the hold up right here? We're probably waiting for a lot of Certus Quartz crystals. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of Certus Quartz that I need to make. Cool. Fun times ahead. I guess I'll let that run for a bit, and that'll at least get started what I need. What else I want to work on is some advanced pneumatic craft stuff. I spent a lot of time last episode kind of automating a lot of things. What I want to work towards is drones. If you guys haven't seen the awesomeness that is pneumatic craft drones, you're in for a treat because there's some really cool stuff. Obviously, one of the requirements is a printed circuit board, which we can now auto-craft. The other thing we need is some turbine rotors, which require 1 gold and 2 redstone. So let's snag a piece of gold and a couple pieces of redstone. There we go. That should quickly pop into a turbine rotor, and I can teach the AE system then how to make that. We just have to remove the filter and add the rotor to the filter. Turbine blade. There we go. And then we can just pop up here and say 1 gold and 2 redstone. Yields one of these guys. We'll pop that in the chest down there, and while we're at it, we'll teach it how to make the drone. That... Oh, right. We have to do turbine rotor blade. Cool. Then we'll do the drone next, because I don't have enough blades to do that. So you can go into the assembler unit. And the goal for this base, by the way, guys, is to have an extremely powerful and efficient base. Like, I really want to try and make everything as perfectly functional as possible. So a lot of the things that like were mostly working and a little bit funky and not like perfect that have existed in my old base, like I really want to get this thing to the point where it's awesome. And that's kind of the plan. So let's pop this in here. Let's grab a couple more rotor blades. Let's say we want 4 of these. No crafting CPUs. You guys must be busy with something else. What else are you working on? Oh, you're making some printed silicon. On the list of things that don't work so hot. Yeah, definitely this thing. I have got to come up with a better deal over here. Wow, you're all kinds of a mess, aren't you? Come on. Silicon press. Wow, you are really not working today. There we go. Much better, maybe? Yeah, things I gotta fix. Long list. So that's at least the plan. So we'll come back in a few minutes after I fix this mess, and then we'll get everything working. All right, guys, we are ready to make our drone. Woohoo! So the drones are pretty awesome if you've never seen them before. There's a lot of complex stuff you can do with drones. The main purpose of drones is to build this machine called a programmer, which is obviously a little bit of a complex machine. Let's get some rotors. I'm going to show you the programmer, but then I'm going to show you what I do, because, yeah, I do things a little bit differently, obviously. And these drones are pretty cool. So I want to give you like an idea of how they work, especially now, like the newer versions. Like the drones you've seen before were pretty cool, but the new ones can do even more stuff. So that's really neat. So a programmer works like so. You place your drone in the top right here, and you'll notice that there's a bunch of functions that you can drag in, right? So you have all these things that modify things. You can tell it to attack entities. You can tell it to dig out an area. You can tell it to place blocks in an area. You can tell it to right-click blocks. You can tell it to right-click entities. You can tell it to pick up items or drop items, modify inventories, manage liquids, pick up and drop entities, go to a location, teleport to a location. There's just so much cool stuff you can do. You can tell it to emit redstone in a specific location, or you can tell it a bunch of other stuff to do, right? So external program, crafting, standby, computer control, export RF, import RF. So you can actually use the drones to transport RF around. A while back, I wrote a computer craft program because one of the functions here is computer control. And you can actually have this drone controlled by a computer, which is awesome. And that's what I want to do. Now, I want to also update my drone program to be able to do some of the new things. I haven't done that yet, but it's something I'd like to check out doing. So one of the things that drones obviously need is some pressure. Another useful thing to give these drones is the ability to recharge themselves. And in order for that to work, we're going to want a dispenser upgrade, I believe. Actually, let's go double check that. I'm pretty sure it's a dispenser upgrade. Cool. So if you check the upgrade tab here, you'll see speed dispenser adds a charge pad on the charging station, allowed to charge or discharge any drones, items, and player inventory items that are on top of the charging station. Cool. So you can see this drone, obviously, filling himself up with the pressure. Now the drones here, you can actually modify the inventory of the drone and put some upgrades in him. So this is the drone itself. So what you can do is you can throw a security upgrade, which makes him immune to liquids, right? And you can throw a volume upgrade in there, which will increase the amount of pressure he can use. Cool. You can throw speed upgrades in there that improve his movement speed. Cool. So up to 10 speed upgrades to let him move much faster. We might want to try that out. Dispenser upgrades are very useful for them. By default, the drones can only pick up one stack of items, but for every dispenser upgrade in there, you can get an additional stack of items. You can also increase his internal liquid tank by doing this, and RF storage. Cool. And then there's the item life upgrade. The drone will be able to auto-repair himself and regen health. I'm not sure if we need that. So I'm probably going to get a handful of dispenser upgrades and some speed upgrades. How are we on speed upgrades? I wouldn't mind crafting about 10 of those, just so we can see what it looks like with the drone, having speed upgrades on himself and whatnot. Also, I believe my crafting is done, so let's do a 64K crafting component. So we're going to want these, so we need some quartz glass, huh? We'll start cooking that up. 1, 2, 3. And then we can use these to make the 64X. Nice. So that can store a ton of stuff, but specifically what we're going to do is use it down here. And I'm going to configure this guy to condense into singularities. Now we're going to need 256 items pumped into this matter condenser to handle the singularities that we're going to get. So like if, for example, I threw some stone bricks in there, you'll notice, I think it tells you, yeah, 109 storage of energy. Nice. This is an import bus, so it sucks in from the A network. I'm going to go get another transfer node with some world interaction upgrades. I'm kind of working on two different components here, so I apologize. Let's get like 20 of those. That should be cool. Oh, nice. So we'll pop that dude there, throw the world interaction upgrades in, and we should see, unless I got rid of, there's lava there still. There's water there still, so you should be, maybe this is enabled. There we go, now we're talking. Cool. Looking good. So that we'll just let run, and we're just gonna kind of forget about it for now. I might throw some more world interaction upgrades in there in a bit. I mean, we're pretty good on iron and lapis, right? Yeah, that's really all that those things are used for. So let's double that. 20 more, start. Sweet. Cool. So that'll be pretty quick. Not super fast, but fast enough. So that we don't have to worry about it right now. We'll get some quantum singularities, which we're going to need in a little bit. Back to drones. Dispenser upgrades. What's involved in making those things? I want to auto craft those because we're going to need a few. All right, making a bunch of dispenser upgrades. Good times. Should be pretty easy. My speed upgrades are still cooking along, but my dispensers should not be far behind. Awesome. Was there anything else I wanted to put in there? My speed upgrades are still cooking. I think that's enough for now. So obviously, first things first, we'll want to configure this thing with a dispenser upgrade. This will allow the drone to kind of fly here and recharge itself. Now we're also going to want some upgraded air pressures. If we want to be able to fill this drone all the way up to 10, we're going to need something that can compress and handle 10 bars of pressure. Obviously these things can't, but we'll get to that. For now, I just want to get the basic drone up and running and show you guys how he works. So we should go into his inventory. We'll put the dispenser upgrades in there now. This will allow him to store more items. If we want him, for example, to build bases for us, we're going to want him to have a lot of inventory space to store stuff. Cool, cool. So let's do this. I'm going to snag a chest. I'm going to bring that outside, and I'm also going to grab some bricks because that's probably a good idea. Cool. And I want to demonstrate how this thing works out here. Now, for him to work, we're going to need a couple more things the way I like to have him work. So we're going to want this drone peripheral, the drone interface. This thing is important. So we're going to need a wireless modem. We're going to need a printed circuit board, which apparently we're out of. So craft one of those for me, would you, AE? And let's see, drone... wireless modem, that should be cool. Probably gonna want a couple of these. Drone interface, range upgrade. That shouldn't be too hard to make. I just taught my system how to make bows for the dispenser upgrade, so easy enough. Let's see, drone. That should be cool now. This should be done crafting, I would think. Nice. Awesome. So the drone interface is what attaches to a computer and can be used to control a drone. So we're going to want an advanced computer. I did make a modem, right? Yep, wireless modem. I've got an extra one of those. And I'm also going to want one of those handheld tablets. I don't know if you checked those out. Advanced pocket computer. And we want him to be the wireless version of it. Cool. So we've got a wireless pocket computer. We've got a wireless modem. We've got the advanced computer. That should be mostly everything we need. So let's do this. Let's start this guy up and we will label set him as drone. Cool. Now he reads his drone and this one reads his pocket. Nice. Speaking of, I need to do something about my mining system. It's all kinds of broken as well. All in good time. It's time to fix a lot of the things that we've kind of let loose in the series. So let's throw down our computer. with our drone interface right next to it. That's cool. We'll label set drone control. That should be cool. We'll throw a wireless modem down, and there's only one more thing we need to do, and that's we have to tell the drone all about where this drone interface is and the fact that he needs to be controlled by a drone interface. So in order to do that, we have to give him a small program. We're going to start with a start, and you'll notice that it tells you there's an error, you need to connect stuff, and the drone programming interface is pretty cool. So you can literally use this to control drones all the way. Like if you want to build a program where he picks up items and moves stuff around, you guys have seen me do that in the past. But all I'm going to do is tell him that he is responsible for computer control. Cool. So we will start with a computer control, and then all we have to do is tell him what area to work in. Now, in order to configure an area, we need a GPS unit. So let's go make one of those. So we're going to need some red plastics. We're going to need some red dye or fluoro powder. And then the GPS tool should be good. So I'm just going to shift right click on the drone interface, and you'll see that little yellow square show up to indicate that we've set our GPS coordinates. Nice. That's cool. And then we just come in here, right click, select GPS, we click on our GPS unit, select GPS 2, and if we hit show area on this, you'll see the area that's being affected by the GPS unit. This is telling the drone which drone interface to receive his commands from. Cool. Now, in order to export this program and store it on the drone, we're going to need a couple programming puzzle pieces. So we need creeper, ender, and repulsion plant seed puzzle pieces. So we need the programming puzzle piece that's this. So we're going to need some more printed circuit boards. Let's get like 5 more of them. You can never have a couple extra, it's fine. What are we missing? Ooh, cactus. I think I know where to find some more of that. Haha. Nice. I did teach my system how to make the Fido grow, didn't I? I guess not. To-do list. All right, definite to-do list. We'll say 5 of these guys. Now we can kick that off. I'll come back in a minute once all crafting is done, and then we'll insert the programming pieces. Alrighty then, that should be the puzzle pieces we need. So simply having them in my inventory means that I should now be able to export the program. And you can see it took one of those items out of my inventory each. And we now have a drone with this program in it. So all the program says is start and await for computer command controls from the block in the area, which is this block right here. Sweet. So let's get some programs on here, should we? So if I did this properly, and I'll get you guys the paste bin codes in a minute. All right, I must not have done it properly. Oh, that's that guy. This one should be await command. So I pretty much wrote a program a while back, and you guys have probably seen it in my previous Forgecraft series. I want to do more with it. I didn't get a chance to do much with it because A, the series was wrapping up, B, Forgecraft was super laggy at the time, and C, the drones weren't super capable at the time. Now they are. So I'm going to plop down my drone here, and he's just going to chill. Hey drone, how's it going? And let's see, the GPS tool, I don't think I really need you anymore. I should be able to run my drone command program. Sweet. So there's one more thing I need to do in order to properly handle this drone. I need GPS coordinates. I think if I try and run the command here, yeah, it's not going to work because I need access to a GPS. So I'm going to build a quick one of those right above my base. Just a GPS tower like you've seen me build in the past. And we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm setting up the last GPS computer. GPS host. You want to stand on top of them, remember? And kind of centered on the block, and then 1503, 139, 528. So remember, one Y level below where your feet are is where the computer is, right? So 1503, 139, 528. And now the computer should know where they all are. So all 4 of them are on with the same startup command, just with the appropriate stuff configured. And now all I need to do is show you guys how awesome this drone program is, because I'm rather proud of it a little bit. So let's get our drone out. You can just chill there, Mr. Drone. And now if I run the drone program and tell him to come here, this thing should work. You know what? Maybe there's one more thing I have to change. So the only thing we have to remember is that we need to know the name of the computer that's responsible for controlling the drone. So if we modify, there's one line here, local drone controller ID. Just make sure this ID number matches, and then we should be good. So drone, come here. Dun 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 dun. Hello drone, how are you? Good job. Now drone, I would like you to define your home position as maybe right over here. So I think I need to specify that. But first, let's do this. I'll tell him to come here again. Nice, that's working. So you can see the GPS coordinates transmit to the drone where I'm currently standing, or more accurately, where the tablet is. And then I can tell him to do all kinds of stuff. So let's say I want to build a little area. So in order to define the area, I use the set area command. Ta-da! And if I want, I can hit apply, and that will show the area that's currently being affected. So currently, it just, when you hit that, it will, if we hit reset here, it'll reset to the block kind of right in front of me. Cool. So we can see that. Nice. So let's start modifying the area that we want to do stuff to. So we can either increase on the X coordinate and make sure show area is on. All right, we want to hit apply. I'm going to set this to auto apply, so as I press the buttons, I don't have to hit apply each time. So we can reduce the first X coordinate, or we can increase it. Or we can increase the Y coordinate. Ta-da! Or we can decrease it. Neat. So we can specify the area that's selected. Now, if we wanted to do this in a slightly better way, we could switch it to move mode. And in this position, it'll move it, X1, X2, so you can see it moving. Instead of increasing the size, it just moves it. Or we can set it in expand mode. This will basically increase both sides of it. So we can set it to expand, right? Sweet. So if we told him to build right now, he would build a block in every position that was highlighted here. Now, I might not want it to be in filled mode. I might want it in frame mode. You know what? Let's see. That's a little bit into the ground. So let's move it up one. There we go. That's what a frame should look like. I could move it one higher, but then it would be off the ground one. Or if I didn't want it in frame mode, I can put it in walls mode. So walls mode wouldn't be internal. It would just be building walls. And then filled mode, again, just fills it. I think there's a couple new modes, so I might try adding them to the program. But for now, I'm basically just using the program as it existed when I first wrote it. I'm going to expand this and add some more cool features, hopefully. So if I wanted to build, it's a pretty straightforward process. First, I have to tell him where the chest is that he needs to live at. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to first, let's see, set an area. I'm going to reset the area so that it's right above my head there, and I'm going to move the Y down too. And you can see the little cube inside the chest. So I'll go back and say set chest. Cool. Now he knows where the chest is for items for him to grab. I'm going to throw some blocks in there he can build with. Neat. And then I'm going to tell him to get items. I think that's the button I'm supposed to do. Oh look, he pulled items out of the chest. Sweet. I should add to the status button a list of all the items in his inventory. I should be able to do that. I think that's doable. And then I can come back over here. I'm going to set the area again. So let's do set area, reset. Cool. And let's do an expand mode. We'll do 2 of each. And then we'll probably want to move it up one again. And I'm going to put it on framed mode so that he builds a frame there, right? And then I can say build. And he should get the command to build, and what he'll do is he'll use the blocks in his inventory to build out the area that I defined. How cool is that? And how's your status doing, buddy? Oh, your pressure's not bad. Cool. And look, he built it. Nice. Now, if I wanted to, I could also snag a pickaxe. I think he's only set up right now to use diamond pickaxes. But I can tell him to get one. So I'll throw that in the chest again. He remembers where the chest is once you set it. So I'll tell him to get the items out of the chest. He should pick up the pickaxe. And then I'm going to tell him, let's see, your area should still be defined. So I'm going to tell him to dig out that area. Cool. And he'll only dig out the blocks within that area. So if we were to put other blocks here, for example, he won't dig them out. He'll only dig out the blocks that are highlighted. Though, of course, if we set this to filled mode and told him to dig, he will clear them out as well. Sweet. And I could, if I want him to, told him to item pickup. And he should go and pick up any items inside that area. But obviously a few fell outside the area here, so oh well. Now if I want, I can tell him to items chest, and that will send him back to the chest and drop off all the items he has directly inside of it. Awesome. I'm liking every part of this. So now I'd like to test him out with some speed upgrades. So I do want to see my speed upgrades should be done crafting. 10 of them, I think, is what the thing said was the fastest it could do. So let's toss him in here. Check his inventory, throw the speed upgrades in. I'll let him refill his pressure a little bit, and then we'll come right back. All right, I'm assuming that with speed upgrades in here, this guy is going to drain his air pressure a little bit faster. Let's go outside and try him out, shall we? Looks like it's getting to be dark out, so let's go take care of that real quick. So you can see how useful I could have this drone building my base for me, especially if he's fast enough. So let's see. First off, let's check out come here. Oh yeah, he's definitely a little bit quicker. Nice. Can you go get the items out of the chest? And set area, apply. That will kind of reset the area. And we will then do frame, build. Oh, that's pretty fast. That is definitely faster than it was a minute ago. Nice. And you should also be able to dig as well then. By the way, he does use the pickaxe to dig out the area. If he doesn't have a pickaxe, his breaking of blocks will be much slower. He'll always use the most efficient tool though. So if you need to dig out dirt or something, give him a diamond shovel too. Nice. All right, I'm going to come back in just a minute. So one more thing he's also capable of doing is teleporting. So I think I want to say set area, apply. That will reset the area here, I would think. Oh, you know what? Reset. That's what I wanted to do. So I'll reset the area here, and that will bring it here. And then I can tell him to teleport to that area. And he should be able to teleport. Now that uses a large amount of air pressure, by the way. Did he already make it down there? He might have. Yep, there he is. Cool. So teleporting is an ability that he has. Nice. Trying to think if there's a good way to see what he's currently got going on in terms of air pressure remaining. I guess I'll do it through here. The status menu. So when he gets low, he should fly over to the charging station. And we can test that out by going back, set area, reset, and teleport. Even though it's a short range teleport, it uses about 1 bar every time he needs to teleport. So you can see his pressure will drop by about a full bar. At which point, yeah, he went right over to his platform to start recharging. Good job, drone. I'm proud of you. You're doing well. Alright guys, enough playing with that drone for now. I'm going to use him for some useful stuff in just a bit, but I like this little drone program. I will, I guess I can paste bin the codes now, but be prepared, I might be changing them or adding features to it. But for now, I'll just do paste bin put await command. So that's the program you need on the computer. Just to note, you may need to modify which side. The modem is expected to be on the left, and the drone controller is expected to be on the right. If you do that differently, just modify those commands. Cool. And then the drone program, the only thing you should need to modify is the controller, the ID of the computer that's controlling him. Okay, so paste bin put drone, paste bin put button, because you'll obviously need the button API that goes with it. Cool. So those are the two codes. I'll try and get them on my forum post as well. But like I said, I might wind up modifying this. So let's go build some stuff and look into making maybe a void dimension this episode. So first, I want to go downstairs and see how this thing's making out. So you're actually getting pretty good on your stored energy components there. So I'm guessing we don't have any singularities yet, correct? Or did we get one and it got sucked up into the system? Nope, not quite yet. So let's grab some more world interaction upgrades, like 20 more. That should be cool. And we'll just speed this process up even further. Nice. So he's obviously, you know, cruising. We'll come back in a minute or two when this is done, I think. But in the meantime, maybe I could work on some dense energy cells. That might not be a bad idea. So we've got energy cells, we've got the calculation processor. These guys aren't too hard to make. So let's teach the A system how to make this. So we'll get some Fluix dust. And then we'll say energy cell. Encode that. And then the dense energy cell, we're going to want to teach the A system how to make one of those. So we'll just start with the energy cell. We'll make one for now, just so that the dense energy cell has a thing to do. Cool. Something else for my new base, more auto-crafting storage. We are literally down to 5 more things that we can auto-craft before we need a whole new set of stuff. So we might need to expand that even further. But because my cabling and wiring is such a mess down here, like I'm afraid to even consider upgrading this, to be totally honest with you. Like I don't even know. So let's do that. Let's start crafting a dense energy cell. Do I have everything I need for that? Yeah, it looks like I can handle that pretty well. So we'll let that kick off. And in the meantime, how am I for things like glowstone and Certus dust? Yeah, see, we're getting a little bit low on that again. And my crafting computer is also being a little bit touchy. So we'll have to see about what we want to do there. All right, we'll come back in a minute. Oh my guys, I was having so much fun playing with drones and everything, I didn't realize that we wrapped up this episode already. Wow, that was quick. So what I'm going to do is plan for next episode. There's a couple things I'd like to prepare for, get a few items, do a couple things. I want to make sure that we have the singularity kind of ready here. He's almost done, 210 out of 256,000, so we're about, 80% there. I'm going to want to get a charging station that can get up to, I don't know, at least 10 bars of pressure. So I'm probably gonna start working towards getting some advanced air compressors next episode. They shouldn't be too hard to make, to be honest with you. It should be pretty straightforward process. How is my plastic production going? I'm curious. Nice, 176 pieces of plastic and more. This thing's obviously doing well. Everything's cool, everything's good. We're gonna wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next episode. Get top tier drones, speeding up fast, massive amounts of pressure, maybe create the void world, get a quantum bridge going between our AE system in the current world to the void world. Then we're going to start building out what will hopefully be a very high-tech and efficient base. Basically, I want everything to be running smoothly in the new base. Like, I want clear definitions of where cables go and routing and P2P networks and all that stuff just from the beginning, properly planned out and well defined, so that as we want to add things to our base and do stuff, it shouldn't be a problem. And then we'll slowly start migrating some things over. Like I said, I probably won't move everything over from my old base. I'll probably leave the quantum bridge up between the old base and the new one so that, you know, I don't have to like duplicate all the stuff that I've done all season, right, in the new area. But some of the major functions, and I'm definitely going to want to make sure are available. So I might move the pneumaticraft room, for example, but I probably won't move the sheep or the cow farm, I don't think. But we'll see. I mean, as we're over there and as we decide, you know what, I really need to move this stuff over to this new place, I might decide to move it. We'll see. But I mean, I'm going to try and not make it like boring content either. So I'm going to make sure that a lot of the movement happens, you know, off camera, unless it's like an interesting way that I decide to move it or something like that. So I will do my best to make sure it's good, entertaining content, while at the same time, we should wind up with a super high-tech and efficient base. I'll definitely probably wind up moving my big reactor over there eventually. That will probably have to happen. We'll probably want power gen in the new area, so we'll see. All kinds of stuff to do. For now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.